Welcome back guys, let's make a dice roll game today. It was my assignment when I was a web dev student. The project is meant to teach you the use of images and more importantly the use of random number generator method in JavaScript. So let's start coding. First make a div element with all class, ignore the naming, it's just random as I was not planning beforehand. Just follow along for details. Inside this div make another div element with class header. This header section will hold the top heading and the roll button we are gonna make next. Make a h1 element inside header to hold the heading title and another div or button whatever you like with a class role and id role. One important thing to note here, use of button is ideal for this project, although I used a div element to create a custom button, just to show how it's done, you can ignore it for now. We need a simple button to tap on for the game. Next make a separate div element with class container outside that is below the closing div of header. Inside it place another div with class dice. The dice will contain a h2 element with either player 1 or 2 heading. It will also hold the image of the dice numbers. Don't forget to give unique ID to this image tag. We'll use it later for action in JavaScript. After the HTML, we have to style the dice game. So start with the body tag, give it some padding, a dark background color, total screen height, a fixed font family and few other details. Next add some styles to the all and header class. I'll give it some margin precise to keep the content in page center. Align text to center with block display. Ignore the messy CSS, my fault, I know you can do much better. Next, add styles to the container class, it will hold the dice images so let's try to make it look good. First of all, make it flex and center the contents in its items. Also give some margin on the top. See how it looks now? After the container, let's style the button. I'm trying to make a custom button, you can simply use a button element instead. I'll give it a matching background color, maybe a shade of red would look nice. Make the radius round by 20 pixel or more. The font is small, let's make as large as 1.5 rem. Once done, give some style to the hover effect, especially the box shadow, and a pointer cursor will do it all. I will only add some bigger font size to the heading like the H1 and H2 elements. With this, the top and header are almost ready, let us now style the dice section, start with a semi-dark background, add some padding and margin. I have also added a thin black border and some shadow with reddish hue. I think it will look better if we put some curve to the edge, just to make them round. Don't get confused with the transition CSS in my code, it's useless here. I was planning to give it some more style but left it unused, so ignore it. After finishing the CSS styling, let's add some action to our dice roll game. All the action happens inside the script tags in our code. I will start by declaring some variables, namely rnd1 and rnd2. These two variables will hold a random number between 1 to 6. To understand the working, remember that math.random method return value between 0 and 1. We will multiply it with 6 to get output up to 6 but not 6, so get 6 in result we will drop the decimal values with floor method and then add 1. Give it some try to understand properly. After this, make some more variable to hold reference of role in the 2 image block we are using. Use either query selector or getElement by ID methods. The btn variable in the code here is declared to access the button or the role div that I had made to run the game. I'm adding event listener here to read the click event, you can also do this directly in HTML with onClick property and button element. I have also declared a function named clickMe to run the dice roll. First of all, let's put the rnd1 and rnd2 variable declarations inside it. Then set src attributes to both image holder elements. It will store the URL or path of the dice number images. We will feed it dynamically using string interpolation techniques. By the way, I had already prepared the images inside the folder named Dice. Comment below if you want to know how I make those images. At last, I will check both RND numbers for the bigger on using if-else conditionals. Then change the heading inside H1 to show which player wins or if the game roll was a draw. Here in my code, I have placed a flag emoji. These are built in VS Code. To get the selection pane, just press the Windows and semicolon keys together inside Visual Studio Code Editor. It will show a selection box with many common emojis to choose from. You can also copy and paste Unicode character here from internet. If this video is helpful, press the notification bell, give us a like and don't forget to subscribe. I'm always waiting for your comments. Let me know what you want to see next.